The confession you are about to hear is an actual tape recording.
Go ahead, please.
I make this confession of my own free will because it is true. There has not been any force or violence used upon my person to induce me to make these statements. Without promise of immunity or reward or gratuity, I confess.
You understand that your statement will be made public through the radio program Confession.
I do.
That your name, for the purpose of this broadcast, will be Esther Phillips.
Yes, I understand. I want to tell the whole story.
Lean forward a little more, please. Esther, talk right into the microphone.
Yes. I want to tell it all. The whole story.
You are listening to Confession. The case history of the woman referred to as Esther Phillips is a matter of documented record. You'll hear the story of her crime experience as told in her own words.
All right. Would you go ahead, please?
Yes. Well, I guess it was a funny thing. I mean, the way we met. You see, Johnny was wanted by the police when I met him. Well, I didn't know it then. But after I found out, it was too late. Because by that time, I was in love with him.
You mean John Tyler?
Yes, Johnny Tyler, that's right.
Then?
I wouldn't have left my husband on my own. I guess I would have thought it wasn't respectable. Even though he was so dull and, well, boring. But when I met Johnny, he was so different. He was exciting, kind of, and I guess the decision was made for me. It was like I had nothing to do with it at all, you know what I mean?
Exactly how did you meet him?
At the races. I used to go to the races quite a bit in Chicago, Washington Park, Arlington. I used to lose a lot of money there. Well, what I mean is, I couldn't stand to just sit home and just sit there all day long, not doing anything. It just got boring for me.
Did your husband know you went to the races?
Oh, I guess he knew. I don't know. He never said anything.
What about the money you lost?
I told him I spent it. He never used to ask any more questions if I sounded mad enough.
You met Johnny at the races?
That's right. It was the last race at Arlington. I was tearing up my ticket. You know, the ticket you get when you bet, you know, there at the window. I didn't even notice him standing there beside me at the rail.
Great luck, huh? That's $100 I dropped. I see you got taken too.
Me?
Mm-hmm. How much did you lose?
$5.
Oh, that's not so bad. $100. Talk about the breaks, huh?
Uh-huh.
Say, I hope you don't mind me saying this.
What?
Well, I've been kind of watching you all afternoon. I mean, you know, because you seem so interesting. Kind of person to get to know.
Look.
I guess I'm saying all the wrong things, but what I mean to say is that all afternoon I wanted to meet you. That's what I mean.
Well, I gotta get home.
Oh, now, wait a second.
Yeah?
Look, you got off the bus at the corner over there around 1 o'clock. You were all alone.
Yes?
Well, I saw you, and the minute I saw you, I made up my mind I was going to get to know you. So I planted myself here, and I bet on the same horse as you did, and... Kind of corny, huh?
Well...
Look, do you have to take the bus back?
Uh-huh.
Can I give you a lift?
No, I guess not.
Oh, come on, I'm harmless. I'll drop you right off at your door. You don't even ever have to see me again if you don't want to.
I don't think I'd better.
I insist. Come on.
We got through the crowd to the parking lot. He had a convertible. It was a nice day, and he put the top down. He didn't say anything for a while. When we pulled up at a stoplight, he looked down at my hand.
Nice wedding ring.
Thanks.
Any children?
Nope.
Uh-huh. Say, you happen to have the time?
It's 5 o'clock.
Thanks. You know a good place I can get some food? I haven't had lunch yet.
Well, there are lots of places in the Loop.
Well, just a sandwich. I eat dinner late.
Well, there are lots of good places.
Hey, that's a nice-looking place, huh? Clean-looking. You in a big hurry?
Me?
Yeah, I thought you might join me in a cup of coffee or something to get home on.
Oh, well, gee, I don't know. I've got to get back. Start cooking dinner.
Oh, it'll just take a few minutes. Don't worry. I'll get you home on time.
He got out of the car and came around and opened the door for me. I looked at him for the first time, really. He was good-looking. Real good-looking. He dressed nice, and he didn't talk like he was fresh or anything. Just as if we were good friends. I don't know. It's hard now when I think back to know what happened, really. Maybe it was the way he treated me. Like I was somebody important to him, not just like a cook and dishwasher. For instance, he opened the car door for me. He opened the door of the restaurant for me, and when we sat down, he helped me with my chair. He ordered coffee for me and some orange juice and ham and eggs for himself. He asked me some more questions about myself. Not nosy-like, just interested. And I started to talk. And once I started, I couldn't stop. I guess I must have needed somebody to talk to awful bad because I told him everything I hated about the 7 years I'd been married.
7 years.
7 years, that's right. 7 years.
You know something?
What?
You know what I thought when I saw you standing there at the races?
What?
I thought you were a dancer.
A dancer?
That's right. Some kind of a dancer. The way you were standing there, I don't know.
Oh.
Did you ever do any dancing?
Oh, when I was a kid in school, we used to have little plays. I did some dancing at school.
I knew it. You mind if I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why have you stuck it out so long?
With my husband?
Mm-hmm. With that kind of life.
Well, I left him twice.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Twice. Once we went up to Wisconsin. I said I wasn't going back with him.
But you did.
Yeah, I was lonely. He just looked up at me and said, "Don't be silly," he said. "Of course you're coming back." And I did.
And the other time?
Well, the other time I went to an uncle's of mine in Duluth. But he has a big family, so I came back. When I walked into the house, George looked at me like he knew I'd be back all the time. He didn't say anything. He just helped me unpack. Someday, I'm telling you, he's going to get the surprise of his life. I'm going to go, and I'm never coming back. Never. Mm-mm. I feel silly.
Why?
Oh, telling you all these things.
I know. Look, maybe it would help if I formally introduced myself.
Maybe.
Johnny Tyler's the name. Who are you?
Esther Phillips. Ha! That's funny.
Why?
Esther Phillips, I said.
Well, isn't that your name?
No, Esther Phillips isn't my name. Not now. That was my name before I got married.
Well, what do you say we just keep it like that? Miss Phillips.
Before he dropped me downtown, he left me his phone number. He said to call. I did my shopping and came home. And the minute I walked into the door, I knew I couldn't stay. It was like I wasn't home at all. It was like a prison. And what right did George have keeping me in a prison? I had a right to be happy, just the same as anybody else had. I ran to the bedroom and packed up some of my clothes. I wrote George a little note saying that I was going, and this time I wasn't coming back. I didn't call Johnny, not right away. For about 2 hours, I wandered around. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't know where to go or what to do. And then I remembered Johnny's telephone number, so I called him. I thought maybe if you weren't busy tonight.
Tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Well, tonight's kind of tied up.
Oh. Well, never mind.
No. Wait a minute now. Don't be silly. I don't mean it that way. I mean busy, like in work.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'll be finished about 10 o'clock. Is that too late for you?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, good. Make it 10. You have my address?
Just a phone number.
Well, it's the Barkworth Hotel near North Side. It's on Huron. 10 o'clock, huh?
10 o'clock. Uh-huh. It was 7. I sat in the bar until 9:30. I felt like I shouldn't have called him, but I had to. There was nobody else to call. And the more I waited, the more I wanted to see him. I wondered all about him, what he did. I thought maybe he was a broker or some kind of a businessman. I took a bus to the hotel. At 10:15, I knocked at his door.
Well, hello again. Come on in.
Thanks.
Sit down. Let me fix your drink.
No, thanks.
What's the trouble?
I left him. I couldn't take it anymore. Honest, I just couldn't take it.
Oh. A drink will fix you up. I'll be right back. Just relax. That's the idea, huh?
I felt warm and good, like I hadn't felt for a long time. And I knew it right then. I had to be with Johnny. I had to. I looked in my purse for a cigarette. There was a lot of cigarettes. I looked on the table. No cigarettes. I opened the coffee table drawer. I thought there might be cigarettes in there. But there weren't any cigarettes in the drawer. There was something else. A gun.
Here you are. This ought to fix... What are you looking for?
The cigarettes, that's all.
Yeah? You should have asked me. I have cigarettes. Here.
Thanks. You keep it for protection?
That's right. I need it in my business. What's the matter? You don't look so
Well, it
good.
just scared me, that's all. It just scared me. It's the first time I ever saw a gun up that close.
Forget it. Come here.
Johnny.
You're beautiful. Anybody ever tell you that?
Long time ago.
Well, I'm telling you now. Look, this is my last night in town. We'll really live it up. What do you say?
Last night in town?
Yeah, I gotta keep traveling. That's how I make my living, traveling around. Why don't you come with me?
What?
Well, you're not going back there, are you?
I wouldn't go back there for $1 million.
Well?
Johnny.
What?
You're in some kind of trouble, aren't you?
You want to come or don't you?
Yes, Johnny, I do want to come. I really want to. Very much.
You are listening to Confession. Before continuing with the documented record of the woman referred to as Esther Phillips, the National Broadcasting Company is honored to present Mr. Richard A. McGee, Director of Corrections, Department of Corrections, State of California. Mr. McGee.
In our modern thinking, personal happiness has become a confused issue. Countless crimes are committed by foolish persons who believe that their rash acts will ultimately lead them to happiness. But I have seen too many thousands of men and women in our prisons unhappily regretting the stupid and thoughtless mistakes that placed them there. Their search for happiness was too often merely a reflection of vanity, greed, lust, and infantile frustration. The majority of these men and women in our penal institutions will assure you that no happiness of the moment can possibly last unless you achieve it with dignity, with respect for yourself as an individual, and without harm to others.
Thank you, Mr. McGee. Now to continue with Confession and the documented record of the woman referred to as Esther Phillips.